I know what my audience like. I did some independent films with Master P. A lot of those movies did really well.
I'm ambitious. I'm a hustler. I have my own lane.
That's the thing about comedy. You wake up every day, you don't know if you're funny that day.
All right. What up? What up? Welcome to the program. Let's go live with Lamont King. I'm Lamont King. We are now live. So let's go. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome into the program. Something like a podcast. Hilarious commentary, trending topics, celebrity guests, and interesting people all rolled into one Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. to 7 East Coast time. Shout out to everybody watching on the West Coast and worldwide. I see you. Yeah, man. Hit the thumbs up while you're in here. Thanks for tuning in. It's a live show. Don't trip. Peanut Gallery, what up? Good to see you. First timers. Slow news day. Yeah, man. We're going to get to it. We got a special guest coming later to pontificate on some of today's news. So we're gonna see if we can make that happen. If the technical difficulties hold up. What's good with y'all though, man? What's good? Okay, cool. We broadcasting live from the newly remodeled Drunken Fruit Studios inside of the Tiny Closet Command Center.
I don't care if it is a closet. You still looking mad official.
Make sure you visit drunkenfruit.com. It's the right time of the season, the right time of the summer. Get you some of their products in your hand, in the fridge. Spell it right. Go to the website or right there on the screen. You see the IG. You know what it is. All right, let me get that down. All right, the phone lines is wide open, man. I know it's early in the evening for some of y'all. Some of y'all still getting situated, but give us a call anyway. 765-LETS-GO-1. 765-LETS-GO-1. 538-7461. Was going to have some leftover rap from the BET Awards, but that faded. 48-hour news cycle, you know how it is. Monday show, we had a lot of interesting scenarios happen. And I know y'all missed a lot if you were tuning in to YouTube. I was streaming the BET Awards I was streaming clips from YouTube, which I thought I could do. Apparently YouTube says no. So they cut a lot of the show. And then we had a troller. I thought the troller was reporting. He was not. He was just, he was a peripheral, coincidental. But he was bad at trolling. Even called the show and I put him on and he was still whack. But anyway, we're back at it. So here's the latest, man. Let's go to CNN real quick. Bill Cosby's conviction has been overturned. Where were you when? You remember where you were? It's going to be one of those. Do you remember where you were when Bill Cosby's conviction was overturned? Well, it just happened, so hopefully it won't be too hard. But I want to hear Gloria Allred. They got her on CNN live feed. She was saying whoa, that ain't right. She was saying, giving reaction on, I hit the wrong one, on reaction on today's news. I wanted to tap in just real quick. Did I say tap in? That's what the youngsters say. Bill Cosby released from prison after conviction overturned. Let's hear from Gloria Allred.
On me, because I did connect and plead guilty to connecting many accusers of Mr. Cosby to law enforcement in Pennsylvania, which I thought really was my moral duty. And I think law enforcement then can make the decision as to, what any weight that they think should be given to the accusations of any person who makes those accusations. But so I don't know how many there are.
She's doing a live Q&A
the full story
on the CNN homepage.
Allegations against Mr. Cosby has never been told. So let's see if there are any other questions, and then
I guess she's wrapping up. Yeah, I mean that's got to be interesting. All right, let's go to this. Let's watch some more from this. It's just to bring us up to speed before we get to our guest. In case you haven't heard. Oh, we don't do that. They're not buying time. And that Mustang ugly anyway. Ugly as Mustang.
The measurement for impressive range is hard to visualize for the average human.
All right, after the commercial, we can go to this press conference. This is CNN.com. It says, earlier today, Cosby was released from prison after the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania vacated his 2018 conviction on sexual assault charges and judgment of sentence. All right, let's get to this.
He never should have been prosecuted for this. He had every right to rely on the prosecutor's word. And they pulled the rug out from underneath him because of politics, because of the court of public opinion, and that is not how our system should operate. When that happens, there cannot be a just sentence.
This is outside his house.
If there had been a just verdict and a just sentence, we wouldn't be here fighting. But there was not a just sentence and not a just verdict. And I think it's really important that we keep our eye on the ball, that our Constitution is sacred. And that we need to uphold it at all times. And I'm glad that the Pennsylvania Supreme Court saw that.
Right there. I'm very proud of the team that we put together. Very proud to be part of this case. We always thought that eventually this is where it would end up. Mr. Cosby and I had many talks over the last couple of years. I predicted.
Oh, there you go.
And we're here.
Wait a minute.
For the Cosby family.
Mr. Cosby, how does it feel to be home?
Man, like he did a stretch.
He is extremely happy to be home. He looks forward to reuniting with his wife and his children. And obviously, this is
he wrote 100 sonds. That mixtape about to be trouble. Cosby's about to be a problem.
He says, his heart is just beating really fast, and he's happy to be.
Wait a minute, hold up. Is he mute? Wait a minute. I ain't understanding something. Look at this right here. This last little piece. Can he talk? What's up, Cos? I mean, Cuz? What's up, Cuz? Cos? Hold on, Cos. All right, they're going to let me be great. Yeah, I'm not buying it. We're not doing that. So there's that. We come back to y'all. So that's where we at, man. We hold on, troubleshooting over here. So yeah, man, that's where we're at. So feel free to jump in. We'll try to have this little discussion. Twitter is on fire. Unbelievable. It's so, politics and headlines is so polarizing these days. Unfortunately, we're in an era where, man, if you don't agree with something that somebody say, or like, let's say 10 people agreed on something, and you and your 4 people just was like, nah, I think it's the other way. Man, warfare. Remember when we could disagree and just be like, oh, you a chump. Well, you a sucker. All right, it was cool. What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? You want to go shoot ball or what? Like now, I seen people that I know and respect, like really talking about, oh, I got to cleanse my timeline today because I know the toxic mentality is going to be on center stage. Why? Because I'm celebrating Bill Cosby coming home. Like shit is wild. Like I seen earlier today, I seen Felicia Rashad. She made a statement on Twitter, put his picture up. Finally, justice is served. Man, I felt some kind of way when I seen them going on Felicia Rashad like that. I'm like, not Claire, man, not Felicia Ayers Allen. No slander. Off limits. No fly zone. Not Miss Felicia. Nah, y'all tripping. Going in too. Going in like black females. What happened to protect black females at all costs? Protect black women. Like you want somebody to ride like that. Be like, I don't know none of that. I didn't see that side of him. I think he's innocent. That's my man for 40 years. I'm glad he's home. And you shit on that? Like, I don't even understand what some of y'all, this whole Me Too thing. Like, all right, let's back it up. Let me back up. Let me give some context. For me, it's not about whether he did or didn't. Like, that ain't never necessarily been at the forefront for me. I know the Me Too crowd and whatever other category you fall in, I get it. But for me, this ain't about guilt or innocence. This is about the criminal justice system fucking up. And that man got freed on a technicality. And if the case was that strong in the beginning, it should have never went that way anyway, the way they did it. So am I happy Bill home? Sure. That doesn't speak to any of the alleged, presumed, inferred, accused crimes or his behavior or that. It speaks nothing to none of that. I ain't saying that. Am I glad 84-year-old Bill Cosby, America's dad, who had, some freakish ways in the 50s, 60s, and 70s on some Hollywood type. Am I glad he's home? Do I believe they tried to, besmirch, tarnish, ruin his name and legacy? Yeah, I believe that. And he got freed on a technicality, and I'm happy for that. So, yeah. Kennard says should have kept the same energy for Manafort, Roger Stone, all of that. So, Haynes, we're waiting right now. I'm going to get into all the nitty gritty and the nuts and bolts. We're waiting. We had some technical difficulties on the studio side. So I'm about to lay all of that out. We're going to explain what happened. And give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, good to go. All right, here we go. Because it's a lot I can say, but y'all be like, oh, Lamont, where you read that at? Or that ain't how it went. And so we're going to get to actual factuals. All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, fan favorite, live on scene. Fresh out of the courtroom, she was in the little video. Matter of fact, live from Bill's house in Pennsylvania. She's actually live on location from Bill's house. Attorney Ike speaks, ladies and gentlemen. What's good with ya?
What's good, Sam? How are you?
Good. Long time. What's good?
I'm good. I'm sorry. I'm on the phone. Something's going on with my camera on the desktop. I'm in the office today, so.
Oh no, it's all good. You moving? Look like you're moving, or is that just a cabinet? It's a file cabinet or something?
No, that's the office.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm in the office.
Oh, the real office.
Yeah.
Okay.
The real office.
All right. So let me put your name on the screen real quick. Yeah. All right. So first and easy question. Why is Bill Cosby out of jail?
The first and easy question.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby is out of jail because he did not get a fair trial, because the prosecutors violated his constitutional rights. In short, when Bill Cosby was dealing with the initial allegations from Andrea Constant, right? The prosecutor then was Mr. Castro. He said, you know what? We're not going to be able to prove this. It's been a year. Your credibility is a little suspect. Your story is a little inconsistent. I could bring it, but I'm not going to win. I don't have enough evidence. So I can't help you in the criminal realm. But what I can do is I can help you on the civil side. So if you bring a civil suit against him, I can make sure he cannot invoke his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, right? So the DA said, what we'll do is that we will basically promise that we will not prosecute him in this instance so that he cannot assert his right to remain silent in the civil case. And what they basically said is that when you get to the civil case and you start admitting shit and you start saying you did this and that, we can't use that against you because we have promised that we will not. That's the only reason you would give up your right to remain silent.
Right. And that was, and they traded that for immunity.
Traded it.
Okay, all right.
On it.
And he's like, if that's the case, then yes.
That's what he said. Okay.
Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, I put a little thing in the drink one time. Yes. Right.
Right. Because I could pay some things. I ain't trying to be, I'm not trying to be not free.
Right.
Right. And so that's what happened. Right. She got a civil lawsuit. She got something like $3.3 million, whatever may have you. Everybody's happy. Go away. New DA comes to town. I'm not bound by what this other DA said. I don't have to listen to him. No. What you said back then, we're about to use that in this trial, right? Because it's a statement. It's your admission. And call in criminal defense the Holy Grail, because it's basically a confession.
Right.
Basically admitting to the allegations. So they're like, listen, we're gonna use that. We're gonna use that. And so what happened was, in the interim, after reading 79 pages of the decision, the old DA contacted the new DA and was like, yo, remember what had happened was I told him that we wasn't going to go that way, and he gave up those rights, and so you probably can't do this. You probably could get him on some other chick, but not this one. And she's like, yeah, you got anything in writing? You got contract? You signed something? Was this formalized? Was this memorialized somewhere? And the DA is basically like, nah, but see what had happened is I did this press conference. And in the press conference, I basically said, we're not going to pursue this because X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So we didn't memorialize it, but it was understood by all the parties, right? Understood enough so that Bill Cosby relied on it. Right.
Because I'm solid. We solid. You said what you had said, and I did what I said. Yeah. Right.
So the new DA said, well, you don't have nothing in writing. And that's a press conference. That's not really an agreement that we have to be bound by. And in fact, that's not how we do it in Pennsylvania. If you want to give somebody immunity, there's a statute. You got to do that shit. You got to go before the judge and you got to get immunity conferred. There's a way we do it. You didn't do it that way, right? And so when Bill Cosby appealed after his trial to the intermediate court, the intermediate court said, the DA, he made a press conference. That's not a contractual obligation.
So at that time, everybody was with the shits.
Everybody was with the shits.
They just was like, oh, nah, that don't mean nothing. We need to see this. We want to see this.
So the new DA has all these political aspirations, right? You got the Me Too movement, and you got 50 people, and you got the cover of Times, and you got CNN, and you got all of these people doing interview after interview after interview, and all this political pressure to actually get a conviction, right? So they have the first trial. What happens in the first trial? First trial hung.
Right.
Can't decide.
And then his counsel left. The young lady.
Monique. So yes. Monique Presley at some point exited, and now I believe this disbarred.
Right.
Sidebar.
We gotta come back to that.
Or I should say indefinitely suspended.
Oh. I follow her on Twitter. I ain't get none of that. I get the little wine selfies.
Baby is right there. You got Google. She got suspended. She co-mingling funds. Anyway, we have another show about that.
Right, we come back. Yeah.
Especially if you're a high-profile black lawyer, because you know they're gonna be on your ass.
Yeah, absolutely. What were you thinking?
What were you thinking, right? Right, so she stepped out of it, and they had some other lawyers. So the first trial was hung. Now, there was 2 issues on this appeal. They didn't really get to, but I thought that was the more juicy issue. So the first issue was whether or not the DA's promises to Bill Cosby, whether that was enough to induce him to give up his constitutional rights, such that for them to not abide by that promise basically deprived him of his right to remain silent.
Right. Okay. Right.
First thing that's the first issue. The second issue was after the hung jury, the prosecutor went back and was like, yo, judge, see what happened was we have these other women. We want them to be able to testify too, so we can demonstrate that this is, a pattern of conduct. This is not like a one-off. This is what he does.
Right.
The first trial judge was like, yeah, I'm gonna let you use one other person to make that establishment, right? Hung jury. They went back on the second trial and was like, yeah, can we get 5 more? 10 more? Can we get 20 more? And the judge was like, I'll give you 5 more. Right. So that was the second issue as to whether or not allowing those 5 other witnesses was so prejudicial.
Right.
That it was more prejudicial than it was probative. It was more harmful than it was
right.
to prove that this actually occurred.
Right.
They didn't even reach that. So what the court said, the high court now, this is the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania, right? Not the court of, which is the equivalent of the Court of Appeals in New York, which is the court of last resort.
Okay.
They look back and they
said, last chance you, if you will.
Yeah. Before you go to the feds.
Yeah.
Right? Before you go habeas to the feds, right? Last chance court, they said, you know what? We are actually going to apply contract law, which is not uncommon. Contract law, these principles in contract law, which basically says that if someone makes you a promise and you rely on that promise to your detriment.
A handshake is good enough.
Right. You need some remedy, especially when the promise causes you to give up something of the magnitude of your constitutional rights.
Freedom, right.
Right, and so the court says we can't do that. And while it wasn't done formally the way the criminal statute says, we still recognize in contract law that you can detrimentally rely on a promise, right? And so we have to afford you a remedy for when that happens. Is throw this shit out and don't come back.
So wait a minute. So to that point though, when did this new team get installed? Because like this happened, this news was they released this news like Beyonce releasing the album in the middle of the night. You'd be like, I didn't even know she was working on music. Like I didn't know this was a thing. Was this ongoing? Like we hadn't heard no inklings of he's got a team that's gonna switch it over to contract law and try to get him out on the technicality. None of that. We ain't heard none of it.
So this is all part of the appellate process.
So it's been ongoing.
Ongoing. After he lost at trial, there was an intermediate appeal. He lost that appeal, right? The intermediate court, right? So it's every state has 3 tiers: trial court, intermediate court, and then typically the Supreme Court or your Superior Court or your Court of Appeals or whatever you call it. Doesn't matter what it's called, right? So it's the highest court. So this has been going on since he was convicted.
Okay, got it.
His first appeal, he lost that one, right? And then he appealed that to the high court. So this court now is looking at everything that happened before it came to them. That is what happened in the intermediate court, what happened at both trials, and what happened before the trials, right? That's the agreements and the deals that were made during those civil depositions. So they looked at all of that. That's why the decision is 79 pages.
So,
the
good question. Was it the same judge?
I don't know. They didn't.
Okay.
I didn't notice if they mentioned the judge's name. But it doesn't really matter if it's the same judge because there is a record, right? There is a trial record. And so whether it's the same judge or not at the trial level, whatever happened at that other trial, the new judge, if it's a new judge, is privy to that.
Right.
You're privy to all of that.
Now, I saw your post earlier. Did you said you called this?
I called it. You check my IG?
Yeah. So you called, you thought in 2018 that it was a sham, it was impropriety, and he was like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna take some time, but it's gonna happen.
I absolutely called it. I absolutely said he did not get a fair trial because a lot of times, we as the media, the people, we tend to think about whether or not a person is innocent or guilty, and that is never a factor when it comes to whether or not they got a fair trial. And I'm going to tell you right now, Derek Chauvin did not get a fair trial. Oh, you're like, come on with that. Like,
jeez.
So in 10 years, when his shit gets reversed, we'll be right back here going.
Oh, you don't say that. Oh, jeez. You did call that though. You said that. You did say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Bill. So another question. So he can't get tried again. He can get tried for others if they come forward with some evidence. But
Sure.
yeah.
20 other women that they actually might have a statute of limitation that they could get in there, because this is not rape. This particular incident with Ms. Content was a sexual assault case, right? Allegations were about digital penetration, and this, for those who don't understand the technical term, finger fucking.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yes.
Right. So
yes. Thank you. Oh, now I get it. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what he did. Oh, but yeah,
that had nothing to do with the IT person.
Right.
Digital penetration, not the IT guy. Right. So yeah. Well, yeah.
All right, I'm about to bring in our bureau chief, our New York bureau chief, on location as well. John Watson, welcome to the program. What's good with you?
Hey.
Right.
What's happening?
I had that too. Wait a minute, I had that. Where does that go? I had that. Well, let's take a quick. This portion of the show is brought to you by. There we go.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, saving that just for you.
Hey, it's Fred Albert, and I'm gonna sing a song for you.
Welcome home, Bill.
And Bill's gonna show you a thing or two. You'll have some fun now with me and all the gang, learning from each other while we do our thing.
Everybody, put the people in the back.
Hey. This is Bill Cosby coming at you with music and fun. And if you're not careful, you may learn something before it's done.
If you're not careful. All right. Enough of that. All right, your thoughts, John. Now here's the thing. So everybody, again, Black Twitter lost their mind today. Just everybody, that point you just made though, Ike, it's not about guilt or innocence. Right. Everybody was stuck on that just in such a way, and it all like, Bill, this, the dirt, the scum of the earth, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but they tripped him up they sent him in on a technicality. So, I mean, it's only fair, it's only fitting that he get, set free on a technicality. Because I remember, of course, I didn't know how, all in depth, but I do remember him getting the immunity deal. I remember that.
Yeah.
Because it was like a tape recording on the table. And they was like, well, did you? And he was like, yes. And then when the trial come, they like, can we admit this as evidence? And I'm like, how? Only reason he said yes, because they said we wouldn't use it.
Exactly.
If Adis a bitch was a person.
Yeah, right.
So now Ike, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Is one of the main reasons why one, Bill Cosby didn't speak today, obviously he had an opportunity to take the little, rehabilitation class so he can get out early and all. So is all the reasons why is because you will never catch that man publicly saying, I touched that woman or I, did that thing. Because whatever he said was private and supposed to be under wraps and so forth. But is this the reason why you'll never hear him ever utter those words or even get close to anything that will remotely get him to look guilty?
No, I think the reason he didn't speak is today is because he's 83, he's blind, deaf, and he might have been quite surprised, right? So let him.
Oh wow, okay.
Right? He may not remember they lost an appeal already.
Yeah.
So every time you appeal, the chances of success get slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. And so he may not have had a lot of hope that he was going to get out as a result of the appeal process, but maybe he thought he'd get out as a result of early release for good behavior and things of that nature. Right. So he may have been surprised. He may have.
So it's just kind of like he was, in the jail cell doing some braille and writing some stand up and braille. And they said, "Hey, Cosby, yes, get your stuff. You're out of here."
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I think he can see. I think he can see.
He probably can.
Yeah. I think his vision is like as bad as mine.
I'm visually impaired, so
right.
I do that blind spectrum.
Yeah,
I think he had some sort of a glaucoma situation going on.
Oh, you can smoke that away. You can smoke that away.
No, don't do that. You can't do that.
You can smoke that away.
I'll give you a quick joke. So my dad has glaucoma, right? And bad where his vision is super blurred, like he really can't see. So I'm leaving, visiting them one time, and I said, "All right, Dad, I'll see you later." And my dad, he's old. My dad's around Bill Cosby's age, so hearing's gone. He has Parkinson's. It's the whole situation. I go, "I'll see you later." He mumbles something. "I'll see you later, man." He comes in closer and he says, "I'm blind." I was like, "All right, man, I'll catch you next time, bro."
Yeah, but you can still see. So you was right. You'll see him.
Yeah, it's blurry.
Yeah.
Blurry,
But how many? So he got 10 years. How many did he serve?
He served almost 3.
I think 3.
He would have been out next year anyway, right? He was doing 3 to 10.
I don't know what the calculations are in Pennsylvania. So I don't know how much of the 10 you had to do. I don't know if he got 10 flat as opposed to, determinate versus indeterminate, meaning that you have a range as opposed to a flat sentence.
Okay. I keep reading 3 to 10.
Okay. So it could be. So typically when you have a range, if you serve the minimum of that range, you might be for parole. But I believe I read that he saw parole and he was denied because he refused to, I don't know.
Yeah, that was just like last year. Yeah. It was last year. He tried to get out for COVID. He tried to get out on parole. Like they really, and that's the part that I struggle with when all these people was going berserk. It's like y'all really don't see that they was going out of their way to stick it to Bill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like out of their way.
And that's gotta make you wonder because
has to make you wonder.
Whatever it was, is he still a threat to women? Is he still calling women up like he'll take these 3 half pills? And let me, you know what I'm saying? At 80?
Right.
Well, I understand that you want to pursue justice, but who are you protecting? Right? Prosecute this and it not be an incarceratory sentence? Right?
Meanwhile, Kevin Spacey is out and your uncle is out and a couple of your Boy Scout counselors is out.
Right. Roman Polanski and all them cats are still moving around, right?
Yeah, right. Meanwhile, and not to compare and all that, but you gotta wonder. You just gotta wonder. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to go back to, because I saw a lot of this on Twitter too, with the whole, it was the era, and that's just what people did, and he's being judged by today's standards. And like I agree with that, but I don't want to use that because you can't really use that no more. That don't work.
No, well, here's the problem with that is that what era? The era is now. Like if you're listening to
true that. That's true.
Right? How many chicks you fucked on a Molly? How many come on, look at Sean. You know how many chicks I fucked when I'm drunk? I got drunk just to have sex. This is a pattern in our community. This is a time thing. This is a pattern in the community. And it needs to be addressed. This is not just Bill Cosby. It's not just rappers of today. This has been perpetuated for as long as we can talk about it. Right? Does not know. And nobody is stopping the Lil Waynes and all of these other rappers who are singing about how they are giving women drugs and then having sex. Nobody's talking about that. And then 30 years from now, when they lock Lil Wayne up, we're going to be back. No, right.
Mr. Wayne, according to your 2002
but even beyond
album,
even beyond community, I was talking about industry, because in that industry, that was part of the lifestyle. That's like basically what you did. And not to victim shame, but there are so many stories again, where they just, all right, okay, I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Right.
I'm just saying your recall of the events don't add up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we got to look at stuff. We should be able to look at some of those things objectively without the scorn and you're just a victim phobe and you're victim shame. I'm like, nah. It's just from the way I heard
impossible.
it
You think it's impossible to do that now, though?
What's that?
To everything you just said. Do you think it's still possible to like not look at something via the scope of
you gotta have a critical thinking hat on. You can't just go along, get along, and that's what mainstream. That's what a lot of people do. They just hear something, take it, and that's it. As opposed to being like, all right, granted, this could be a slime bucket. He could have been guilty 72 times, but there was that one time, Miss, where he violated you, and then you went back the next night.
Mm-hmm. And the next night after that.
And the next that doesn't add up. So my critical thinking hat is not. I'm not putting you on putting the spotlight on you as a victim. I'm like, well, what do you? How do you want me to respond to the fact that you went back?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want me to respond to that?
So that's when I think that there is a fine line between this concept of victim shaming and accountability. Because we as women at some point, we are responsible for the situations we put ourselves in. Right. And I don't care what you say. If you know that there is a man who is pining for you in a sexual way, a powerful man, there is a dynamic difference, right? He's power, you're not. And they call you at midnight in a hotel and they ask you to come over and you were not comfortable when you were there the last fucking time.
Yeah.
You might want to say, thank you, I can't make it. I'm not. Because you have to be responsible for where you put yourself in. If you decide to go and they hand you 3 bills and you take them shits, you have to be accountable.
Well, if he puts them in your drink when you go to the bathroom, it's kind of hard to. Yeah, it's kind of hard.
Different. But
Yeah.
then
you got the BYOB. You got the BYOB.
Exactly. Come
check
on.
for the bubbles. Check for the bubbles.
I don't drink nothing I ain't pour.
Right.
I'm not, matter of fact, you take a sip first. We're not playing that game. Okay. You gotta understand that if that's the industry that you're in, right? You should be on guard. You should understand that they're using all kinds of date rape drugs.
But do you think that's a more of a now thing? Like, y'all know about that now as opposed to back then?
And they knew about
it. That's what they were doing. They had different names for it. It was like really, that's what you do when you showed up, the party drug.
Oh, okay.
Spanish fly. Hey, would you like something? Sure. Yeah. But I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? Oh, just give you one. All right, let's go down the hall to Studio G and check in with Mr. Clarkson. Welcome to the program.
Hey, what's up, good people? So, hit song a couple of summers ago. You ain't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
Put Molly all in her champagne. She didn't even know it. I took her home and enjoyed that. She didn't even know it.
Now that's Rick Ross. Now Rick Ross lost a several multi-million-dollar endorsement deal for that bar. Right
just
there.
That bar, Ross was got, and he got in a lot of trouble, but it didn't stop him from being and coming to America.
Oh, true. Well, he
didn't stop all them chicken franchises neither.
Yeah, Wingstop, Thigh Stop.
Not the only one.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, Bill's out. Does Robert Kelly have a chance? And I mean, really, I know that sounds like a real structured joke, but I'm just saying, like, Bill sexually admitted to sexual assault of women that were white, and he got out. So I'm saying, but I'm trying not to say.
Now I see where you're going.
You know, so that's kind of
no.
It was hogtied, fam. They was hogtied, fam.
No, I roll with you on that. I think things may have went different for Bill if the accuser in the trial was a black woman. Sure. Sure. I mean, unfortunately, and R. Kelly, you know, a lot of time in the criminal justice system, a lot of time we see it with Breonna Taylor, we see it with black women are throwaways.
Yes.
In the criminal justice system.
Yes.
Right.
So for the R. Kelly question, that's a legitimate question.
Right.
But I think there's more evidence. I think there's more evidence just from what I've done watched and seen in the programming and the witness accounts in R. Kelly than Bill Cosby.
What's the other problem with R. Kelly is? Age is something but a number.
Age, right.
Age is something but a number. You know what I mean? You talking about underage or just at the cusp of adulthood. Yeah. That's a whole different ball game, fam.
Right.
I thought you meant his age because he's young enough. He's young enough to do the time.
The victim's age, yes.
You're talking about the victim's ages. That's a whole different ball game.
I guess I'm trying to, and maybe like I said, maybe my parallel is wrong, and that's why, of course, we have an expert on. But both of these men were tried in public appeals and public opinions. So I'm wondering, is there that much of a difference in it? And is it possible that he could, is R. Kelly camp looking at today going, we got a chance?
I don't know. Didn't the feds come get that man too?
So my response to that first is this: we got to remember that the first trial against Bill Cosby was hung.
Okay.
To the same way.
I was in that first trial.
Right, hung, and then mistrial. And then the second, when they brought more white women, that's when it changed. Okay. So with respect to R. Kelly, remember he was acquitted. He was acquitted. So he had an opportunity, and there was a video and there was evidence, and he was acquitted.
Yeah.
Right. So could he be acquitted again? Absolutely. Of course. There's any trial can go any way depending on how the evidence comes in, depending on the nature and the quality of the evidence. Right. And at this point, we don't know what the nature and quality of the evidence is going to be. Right. You might have victims who are gung-ho in the beginning of the prosecution. Come trial a year later, they're like, I'm not coming. I don't want. So.
And didn't some people in the case of Bill Cosby, again, didn't some of them ended up recanting their stories, or or their stories were not to the caliber of what they claim?
I don't want to say recant. I want to say there was some inconsistencies.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? That's just a better characterize it. There were some inconsistencies. Yeah.
Okay.
765 Let's Go 1-765-538-7461. We're on with attorney Ike Speaks. We're talking about Bill Cosby. Hey, look, so a lot of people live and die by what the TV say, right? So he's let out, so then that means he's innocent. So does that mean he's uncanceled? And does that mean his show is coming back?
His show has been back on.
Oh, has it?
It's on Amazon Prime. I keep telling people it's on.
I didn't even know that.
Amazon Prime.
The show has been back on. I think when people started complaining about, different other people who have similar allegations and their shows are still on, then they put it back on. It's been back on.
Oh, got it. That makes sense. Okay.
Will he write a book called If I Had Done
It?
Right.
No, because he did do it.
Yeah, you already said it. Yeah.
When I did it.
All right, we got a question from the Peanut Gallery. Let me bring it. Yes, face the light, please. Thank you. All right, welcome in A Cutie Pie from down the street. Welcome to the program.
I'm so privileged to be with you right now.
Oh, no problem. My pleasure.
Yeah. Oh, hush, John.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, my question to the panel is, why can't I celebrate Bill Cosby being...
That's what I said.
Yeah. My question is, am I going to lose friends over me being happy that he...
Apparently, on social media.
Don't tweet about it.
No, I saw, we have a couple of mutual friends, so I saw that somebody was talking about scaling back, and I'm like, I'm celebrating this man being out. He's 80. He's 102.
Right.
Get this man out. Give him free.
Right.
So that's my question to everybody. Am I wrong? Am I a bad person for celebrating him?
You know what my new tweet is going to be? And anytime something controversial happens, I'll give it a couple hours, and then my tweet will be, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with you. And like they'll just be like, wait, don't agree with which side though? And I'll just close up a comment. Felicia, I looked at Felicia's joint, right?
Yeah.
Hers doesn't allow comments.
Well, she turned it off. She turned it off because she knew it was coming.
In other words, I said what I said.
Yeah.
Right.
I said what I said. I don't need anybody else to comment.
But it turned into a trending. Tariq was trending too, but it turned into a trending situation because everybody has to be heard and seen. Mm-hmm. But even I said something. I was like, y'all not going. This is a no Felicia slander zone. And Karen Hunter, she was like, "Well, close your ears then," because I know I know what side they on because they've been anti-Bill since the beginning. But I'm like, it's vindication from a criminal justice standpoint.
It's about the system for me.
It's about the system.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's what it. I mean, and whether or not the system works and it's going to dole out justice for anyone, just no matter what their station is in life. Everyone is entitled and deserves a fair trial, whether or not you believe that they are the most despicable person on the planet. Because if that person doesn't get a fair trial, baby, it's a slippery slope, right? And so then your best friend, your family member, they ain't getting a fair trial either.
Right.
And so you have to have that standard for all people.
Yeah, you got to have that, because if you guilty and you don't get a fair trial, the innocent person don't have a chance.
Right. Now, how they got him in the first place? I watched a lot of Law and Order to beef up for this show. Was that called Fruit of the Poisonous Tree?
Yeah.
John.
Is that
which one? SVU or CS? Which one?
Nah, SVU. Yeah, any Law and Order. It's always that's Fruit from the Poisonous Tree, fam. You ruled I got to throw the whole case out. You got to start from scratch. Oh, jeez.
Jurisprudence. That's what it was. Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. We appreciate you, as always, Ike Speaks, giving us the layman's breakdown with vulgarity and everything.
Where the goats can get it.
Yeah. So now now I understand what had happened was because y'all, and then people gonna go to work and be like, nah, because it was the finger fucking. And that's how they had got him out, because they had said, you know what I'm saying? You talk about digital penetration. It was finger fucking. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Incredible.
Oh, that's too good. I can speak dope, man.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah.
100. 100.
BeTheBomb.com.
Yeah, but I want to get somebody on 765. Let's see. Let me put this number. I want to get somebody on who really is like feels away. You don't have to be. This is not an echo chamber. I want someone to call in or join the show. I'll put the link back in the chat. You feel away. You feel like you've been robbed, and this just exposes the, victim shaming, and how in this country we don't take women seriously when they get assaulted, and this is why people don't come forward, men and women. This is why they don't come forward, because accusers never get to get justice. I need to hear from you right now. 765. Let's go.
I tell you what,
not happy that Bill is out. You're not happy.
Most of ladies in Hollywood, that are speaking up about it, tend to have that point of view. This is a setback. He's a monster. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Almost my impression of almost all men in Hollywood.
Yeah, right.
No comment.
Oh, right. No. Well, anytime if you notice,
no comments.
Any type of these types of scenarios, when it's quite obvious that you could have some dirt on your hands, they ain't saying nothing. These types of individuals, they ain't saying nothing.
Meanwhile, what's his name? I'm about to get you his name right now. He got to pay like $2 million in a settlement. This white actor, I can't remember his name. My man that was in like Pineapple Express and did a couple things with Seth Rogen. The Interview.
You got Jonah?
Not Jonah.
Not Jonah, not Seth. Those the two.
The Interview though, it was
Franco.
Seth Rogen. Franco, yeah. Franco was about to pay like $2 million.
Franco.
Because he had like some type of acting class in which the students were encouraged to do these
close scenes, these
like sexual type scenes or whatever.
If I could I'm going to place my hand on your breast if you don't.
Yeah, something weird.
That's how they do it.
Yeah, something weird. So he has to pay like $2 million so it was a class action suit where he has to pay like $2 million to the class action. Because he was out there trying it.
No.
Well, thank you,
Cutie Pie. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay.
You look like she's doing something else. So you gotta let her go.
Thank you for joining us and watching.
Yeah, if you gotta do it. Right. Then what do you do? Look into the camera.
Right.
But yeah, no,
there's all kinds of dudes out there, man. They all types, fam. All types. So you think Cosby was doing stand up in prison this whole time?
No, I think he was writing. I think he's writing. He was writing.
He gonna drop a hot hour.
He got he got 100 something. No, he music. He bars.
Oh, you think he gonna drop? He gonna drop hours?
Nah, he gonna put a mixtape out, and he got 100 songs coming. They always say, when they did like 11 months, it'd be like, man, all I did was write. I got so much new music, man. I can't wait to get to the booth. That's where he at with it. That's what I think.
Oh, yeah.
No, I can't see him. Well, one, joking about it, but two, I don't think he has the stamina.
Not even joking about it. I'm joking about prison or the situation.
The situation, either or.
Oh, I think he's got prison.
He may got some stories.
He got prison bars.
They got prison bars.
He gonna be.
But I don't think he has the stamina to I don't know.
Oh, get that man a stool and point him in the right direction of the audience. And watch him fly.
He's been through so much. I mean, that's a stressful, trying, like to see him out standing in front of his house, doing whatever he was doing this whole.
It's the light, man. The light. He ain't seen that kind of light.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Direct sunlight.
He didn't have the shades on.
Didn't have his shades on. That's a lot of direct sunlight for 2.5 years and on the inside.
All right, Haynes called and then he hung up, so I'm calling him back because we had that technology here. So let's see.
Yo, what's the first thing? Okay, what up, Haynes?
What up with you?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
Ain't too much. How you feel?
I'm doing good, man. And I want to thank you and appreciate you guys for having that conversation the way you had it, with the facts coming out and kind of the understanding and the candor of his situation. But I kind of got to admit, now that he's out, he's been exonerated because he didn't get a fair trial. I got to admit, I feel some kind of way that he admitted that he did it. I kind of, I have been defending him the whole time, but now that all that's said and done, the paperwork is signed, man, we kind of got to deal with the fact that he did it. Though.
Was. I don't think that was ever a question. I don't think it was.
Yeah, right. He went in on the fact that he admitted it. He admitted to something, whatever it was. I don't know if they.
So they had the audio. The audio was floating on the internet for a minute, and it was a deposition. It was a deposition. They in a closed room, tape recorders on the table. Have you ever, given women drugs in a drink and then had sex with them? And they worded it in such a way it wasn't like you drugged them to have sex. It wasn't like you raped them. They said, had you ever given them, put something in their drink and then had sex with them? And he was like, he shrugged his shoulders and they was like, we need you to say it. And then he was like, yeah. You know what I mean? Because he's talking
I do remember that.
You cumulative 50 years of I did that.
Right.
There was a time where I did that. So the admission came early, but he only did that because he's thinking, y'all told me y'all was going to give me immunity to say this piece to let you know that I didn't do all the other stuff y'all said I'm doing. And y'all said y'all wasn't going to use this.
Right.
The first case is no go. Then the second one, like she explained, the new DA come in and be like, oh no, I need that tape. We're gonna use that tape.
From 15 years ago or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't
10 years ago at the time, about 10, because the whole, he started going through the trial process, like 20, I think they said 2015, 2016, something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
some time had passed.
Yeah, they're a good 10 years, because they said 2005 is when he admitted it. So at least 10 years had passed. That was old hat. That was an old thought.
So to your point, we got to deal with that. Most of us have already, settled on the fact that he was, a freak body.
Yeah, he was up to hijinks.
Yeah, he was.
Sure. You know what I'm saying? He's up to no good and trickery.
And he probably do have some victims out there. He probably do. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
yeah. Right. Having a good time with drugs and alcohol isn't necessarily a crime, and isn't necessarily criminal when it's a consenting adult. But I guess what I'm realizing is did he commit a crime?
Well, so the elephant in the room is technically, if a woman is not coherent enough to consent to sex, whether she showed up for sex or not, that's a crime.
Right.
So that's where everybody
2-3 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Once.
So like you said, he went in on a technicality.
Yeah. But that wasn't even the technicality that he went in on.
Right. All right. I just had to say my piece. That's why I hung up, because I could have typed that in the chat.
No. We need that. No, we need that. We need your voice, champ. I appreciate you. Haynes from the
what's the first thing Cosby did when he got home?
First thing Cosby did when he got home. Oh, that's too easy.
Clarkson, go ahead. What you got?
Do me a favor. Can you play the intro to the Cosby Show second season?
Oh. I can get that for you in a second.
And take me off. Take me off camera.
Okay. Give me a minute to where it's gonna come through my phone, but sure.
No, we'll see because I don't know which one that is.
He said season 2. This is very specific.
Season 2.
I feel like accidental DJ. Okay, season 2 specifically.
I'm trying to remember which one was that.
Oh, geez,
jazzy one.
What's funny is, see, now he is back on Amazon Prime, but now I got to pay for it. See, Cosby came home and they then charged it back.
You can get that off YouTube.
Hold on. Oh, that's true. Yeah, YouTube.
I can do it, but that's just a lot for me doing.
Yeah, no. I won't make you stretch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna play this Major Hype, but I don't want to. I want to see what Clarkson has first. Should have had this ready.
Yeah, it'd have been nice if you put it in the chat.
Look what he's doing.
Okay, go ahead.
He's back there with the props and everything.
Hold on a second. Let me. All right.
Nice background. Nice studio. Okay.
Okay, you ready? Is he ready?
Yeah. Okay. Is that what it said? But the first thing he did? All right.
First thing.
It's fairly accurate.
All right. Is he rehearsal? He rehearsed that? Oh, okay.
No rehearsal needed.
That was good work. So I'm glad I didn't play this first because this is good work here. Let's look at this from Major Hype on Instagram. I watched this several times. I'm like, I be mad when I see stuff that's good online. I be like, damn, what kind of you don't have no job? You wouldn't at work today like the rest of us.
That is his job.
No, but
job though.
That's true. That's true. I'd be like, damn, how did you have time to think of that? You're brilliant. I like Major Hype. I'm a fan. This was like I saw this moments after I heard that he got out of jail.
Oh.
Man, he kind of looked like him in the face too. Like 300,000 views.
I could have went with. That's a Billy ride.
You gotta wait for the end. This show is filmed in front of a judge. That's hilarious. Filmed in front of a judge.
In front of a judge. That's funny.
Question. Or not question. Statement. I think Cosby's got an hour. I just want to know who's brave enough to pay for that hour of stand-up.
He can produce it and distribute it on his own if he wanted to.
You know, well, somebody said it in there. It went too fast in the chat, but they said podcast. I would go with that. I would go with that podcast before because you don't have to worry about audience. You don't have to worry about all that. You can really just talk and get it off your head. I go with podcast, and the clutch scenario would be him showing up on Dave's podcast.
Ooh.
Dave has a joint right now.
Yeah, he does.
Midnight something.
Have you heard that joint?
It's amazing.
Okay. I listened to the first episode because I think the first episode was like free on Apple or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, am I supposed to be high to listen to this?
Well, yeah.
Do I qualify?
I mean, sure.
If that wasn't like a straight up cipher in a basement.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. It's material. If you haven't heard, Dave Chappelle got a situation. It's on some platform that he's partnered with, but they got the clips, full episodes on YouTube. Him, Mos Def, and Talib.
Mm-hmm.
And it's clips of somebody standing there with the microphone while him and the homies is talking, him on stage, music, and then testimonials from random people. It's
wow.
It's amazing. It's like a variety. It's like an audio psychedelic variety show.
Yeah,
the one I heard with Michael Shea was pretty good. I like the one with Shea. The one with Michael Shea was good. I enjoyed that And it's another one that I heard that I enjoyed of his.
And they're telling stories, and then you could tell that a lot of it was done at the farm when they did summer camp last year, and just it's tough. It's an easy listen. Now, if he got Bill on that,
see, I'm thinking he's got more days behind him than ahead of him. I would love to hear what that basically that open letter middle finger sounds like.
I mean, or he could go the route of Johnny Carson.
What's that?
You never saw that man again.
Wow.
Once Johnny Carson was done,
he ain't had no real scandals though. He was just a private.
I know he ain't had no scandal. I'm just saying, but he could go that route. He's like, I'm old. I'm over it. Y'all don't love me like I thought you did, America. Yeah. And for that reason, I'm out.
No, I didn't know that's the vibe here. I thought he was just a private dude. He would count his money and count his chickens.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Americans love Johnny Carson. My point is the route he went. Like, you never saw Johnny Carson never came. Like, Jay Leno came back and did the Tonight Show.
Oh yeah.
Jay Leno does the thing.
Yeah.
Jay Leno had a car show and blah blah blah. After he had projects. After Johnny Carson left, that man took his yacht and rolled out.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So Bill Cosby might just call Russell Simmons and be like, you have space on the island.
Yeah.
You have space on the island for me.
I tell you what, that would be a good move because people, I feel like it's not over. I feel like if it's the 60 that they all saying it was, somebody got to come with better evidence.
Is out now. The statute of limitations is done.
Ain't no statute of limitations on that. If I got evidence on sexual assault,
I believe so.
Ain't no statute of limitations.
They were just saying how the statute of limitations on the one that he got bagged for was like 12 days about to expire when they bagged him.
If I got evidence, ain't no statute of limitations.
Like he speaks back on that one, Fab.
She said other ones can come forward. He can't get tried for this one again.
Right.
But that was my question about double jeopardy. That was my question about double jeopardy.
You mean like if something happened in like the 90s or like the early 2000s?
Somebody was like, well, you know what? I got the video. You know what I'm saying?
My bad. I was saying on the 60 that came forward already, all their statutes of limitations have run out. That's why they had to bag him on the one because everybody else's was just,
Now they bagged him on the one because she's the only one that had evidence. She was like, I was there. He was like, yeah, she was there. That's the only one that they really had a shot, and they still didn't really have a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Just real quick, why can't you say the word "there" as Bill Cosby as yourself? Because they said I was there. That's literally what you just did. That was funny.
Ooh.
You like when you said "there."
No, I was imitating. I was imitating.
Okay. I was like, Cosby just came out with it. Oh, real quick, about James Franco. Yes, this is not the This is the second time some foolishness came up because in 2010 he enrolled at NYU. And basically, NYU kind of ushered him out the door and gave him fake grades, though he bragged on the grades that he got because he got caught touching some undergrads and they kind of shooed him out the door. Now, with this upcoming lawsuit, it's $2.2 million that he's being sued for. And there's apparently a 17-year-old girl that's involved. So this is, and his claim is he didn't know she was 17.
You can't be at NYU all of 30-something staying in the dorms, fam. Like, you're going to run into problems. You know what I'm saying? You're going to run into problems.
I didn't realize what you were saying. I thought it was an Asian girl named YU, and I thought that when you explained
jeez. He was NYU. Oh, come on.
And on that note, I appreciate you, Mr. Clark, sitting down the hall in Studio G, New York Bureau Chief John
I need movie review Friday.
Okay.
Please get it. On Friday, we're gonna do a movie review of Fast 9.
Oh, okay. That means I gotta watch it. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I won't allow you. But I think you put out a quick movie review of a movie that you saw. You review that one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of movie review we're gonna have. No homework required. No homework required.
That works. All right. Till then. Let me see. Okay, y'all being Alpha Mama, you're being belligerent in the chat. You're being inappropriate. I see what you just said. You're being inappropriate. And I was not wrong. I'm not wrong on my own show. So there's that. All right, there we go. Hey, Friday, the money wheel is not a lot, but it's enough to roll. So if y'all want to put some more on there, it's less than 100 currently. But if y'all want to put some more on it to go into the holiday weekend, your favorite holiday weekend of America, Let's Go Live Show on the Cash App. Let's Go Live Show. Newcomers, appreciate you. Callers, I appreciate you. Viewers, I appreciate you. Guests, co-hosts, and Attorney Ike Speaks. Type of show we do. Thank you for your time. We'll see y'all on Friday, man, 6 p.m. Lord willing, inshallah. For All Fun and Games, man. Be safe. Stay out of trouble. Shout out to Bill. Free Bill. Bill home. Bill home.
I don't care if it is a closet. You still looking mad official.